If a child can stand on a busy street to save her mother, then I can risk going to where they live. These words, spoken by Cristiano Ronaldo, marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey. The football superstar stepped out of his world of luxury and into the harsh realities of poverty and struggle. Ronaldo's path began with an encounter with a young girl named Lily. This meeting sparked a chain of events that would grow into a nationwide movement. As we follow his journey, we'll see how compassion can transform lives and how one person's decision to act can create far-reaching effects. This story challenges our understanding of heroism in the modern world, revealing the power of empathy and action in the face of adversity. The Cadillac glided through the bustling city streets, its tinted windows shielding Cristiano Ronaldo from the outside world. Inside, Ronaldo scrolled through his phone, his mind on the upcoming charity gala. The car's smooth ride isolated him from the rough urban landscape, much like his lifestyle separated him from the harsh realities beyond. As the traffic slowed to a crawl, Ronaldo glanced up from his phone. His gaze wandered to the sidewalk, where the stark contrast between his world and the city's underbelly came into focus. Amidst the sea of hurried pedestrians and street vendors, a small figure caught his eye. A young girl, no more than 10 years old, stood motionless on the corner. Her clothes were worn and ill-fitting, her hair tangled and unkempt. But it was the cardboard sign she held that made Ronaldo's breath catch in his throat. Scrawled in uneven letters were the words, "Please help. Mom is sick." Time seemed to stand still. Ronaldo felt a tug in his chest, a feeling he couldn't quite name. The light turned green, and the car began to inch forward. He thought of the gala, of the expectations placed upon him, of the carefully cultivated image he maintained. But the girl's eyes met his through the window, and in that instant, something shifted. Without fully processing his decision, Ronaldo leaned forward and tapped his driver on the shoulder. "Stop the car," he said, his voice steady but urgent. The driver hesitated, clearly caught off guard. "But sir, we're in the middle of—" "I said stop the car," Ronaldo repeated, more firmly this time. The driver complied, pulling over to the curb despite the honks of protest from the vehicles behind them. Ronaldo's security team immediately tensed, assessing potential threats, but Ronaldo was already reaching for the door handle, his mind made up. "Mr. Ronaldo, I must advise against this," his head of security warned, his voice low and urgent. "We haven't secured the area. It's not safe." Ronaldo paused, his hand on the door. He looked at the girl again, still standing there with her sign, oblivious to the commotion she had inadvertently caused. Then he turned to his security team, his jaw set with determination. "If that child can stand on a busy street to save her mother, then I can step out of this car to help her," he said. And with that, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most famous and wealthy athletes in the world, stepped out of his comfort zone and into a world he barely knew. As his feet hit the pavement, Ronaldo felt uncertainty and nervousness, but also a strange sense of purpose. He was about to cross a threshold, one that would lead him on an unexpected journey. This spontaneous decision would change his life and spark a movement that would touch countless others. The girl's cardboard sign had caught Ronaldo's attention, revealing only a fraction of the heartbreak and resilience beneath. As he approached her, he couldn't have anticipated the story she was about to share, one that would challenge his understanding of heroism. Ronaldo's footsteps echoed on the pavement as he neared the young girl. Her eyes widened, a mix of recognition and apprehension flashing across her face. She stepped back, clutching her cardboard sign protectively. "It's okay," Ronaldo said softly, crouching down to her level. "I'm Cristiano. What's your name?" The girl hesitated, her gaze darting between Ronaldo and the busy street. Finally, in a voice barely above a whisper, she replied, "Lily." Ronaldo smiled warmly. "That's a beautiful name, Lily. Can you tell me about your sign? Is your mom really sick?" Lily nodded, her lower lip trembling. "She can't get out of bed anymore. We don't have money for a doctor." As Ronaldo gently encouraged Lily to share more, the harsh realities of her life unfolded. Her father, a decorated soldier, had died in combat 2 years ago. The loss had devastated their family, leaving Lily's mother struggling with depression and unable to maintain steady employment. "We used to have a house," Lily explained, her voice growing stronger. "But after Dad died, we couldn't pay for it anymore. Now we live in a shelter, but Mom's too sick to go there sometimes." Ronaldo listened intently, his mind processing the stark differences between their lives. "What about school?" he asked, dreading the answer. Lily shrugged, her eyes downcast. "I try to go when I can, but it's hard. Sometimes we have to move, or I need to stay with Mom." Ronaldo's mind raced, grappling with the complexity of her situation. How could a child bear such burdens? How could a family fall through the cracks so completely? In that moment, Ronaldo made a decision that would change not only Lily's life, but his own. He stood up, offering his hand to the young girl. "Lily, I want to help you and your mom. Will you take me to where you're staying?" Lily's eyes widened in surprise. She hesitated for a moment, then slowly nodded, placing her small hand in Ronaldo's. As they began to walk, Ronaldo signaled to his security team. He could see the concern on their faces, but his mind was made up. They were about to venture into a part of the city that Ronaldo had never seen, a journey that would open his eyes to a world he'd been insulated from for far too long. As the group ventured deeper into the city's underbelly, the air grew thick with tension. Ronaldo's security team bristled with unease, their eyes darting from one dilapidated building to another. Marcus, the head of security, pulled Ronaldo aside. "Mr. Ronaldo, I must insist we turn back. This area is not secure. We're putting you at unnecessary risk." Ronaldo felt the weight of the decision pressing down on him. He looked at Lily, her small hand still trustingly held in his, then back at his team's concerned faces. The reality of their situation became increasingly apparent with each step they took. Crumbling buildings loomed overhead, their walls covered in graffiti. Ronaldo noticed eyes peering at them from darkened doorways and alleyways, curiosity and wariness evident in equal measure. "Sir, please." Marcus tried again, his voice low and urgent. "We haven't secured the area. The crime rates here are high. We're putting both you and the girl at risk." Ronaldo's mind raced. He thought of the comfort and safety of his Cadillac, of the charity gala waiting for him. It would be easy to turn back, to write a check, and consider his duty done. But then he looked at Lily, her face a mix of hope and fear, and he knew he couldn't abandon her now. Taking a deep breath, Ronaldo turned to his team. "I understand your concerns," he said, his voice steady. "But if this child can live here every day, facing these dangers just to survive, then I can face them for one afternoon to help her. This is about doing what's right." The security team exchanged glances, clearly conflicted. Ronaldo pressed on. "I'm not asking you to like this, but I am asking you to stand with me. We have the power to make a real difference here, for Lily and her entire community. Isn't that worth the risk?" His words hung in the air for a moment, before Marcus nodded slowly. "We're with you, sir, but we'll need to take extra precautions." As they continued their journey, Ronaldo felt a strange mix of fear and exhilaration. He was stepping into a world he'd only seen from a distance, risking his reputation and possibly his safety. But with each step, he felt more certain that this was exactly where he needed to be. Ronaldo's decision to press on would change Lily's life and spark a movement that would challenge society's views on poverty and responsibility. The risks he took that day would touch countless lives and redefine what it meant to be a hero in the modern world. Ronaldo's heart sank as they approached Lily's home. The structure was a patchwork of metal and wood, its walls leaning precariously. A tattered tarp served as a roof, barely keeping out the elements. Inside, the dim space revealed a thin mattress on the floor, occupied by a frail figure, Lily's mother. Her sunken eyes and pallid complexion spoke of her deteriorating health. "Mom, I brought help," Lily whispered, her voice a mix of hope and trepidation. Ronaldo stood frozen, the reality of their struggle hitting him hard. He thought of his own life, the comforts he took for granted, and felt a pang of guilt. Lily's mother tried to sit up, her movements slow. "I'm Sarah. she managed, her voice weak but proud. "I'm sorry for the mess. We weren't expecting visitors." Ronaldo felt a lump in his throat. Here was a woman, clearly ill, apologizing for her living conditions. Her resilience was humbling. As Sarah explained their situation, the lack of health care, the struggle for food and water, Ronaldo's mind raced. How could he truly help? A one-time donation wouldn't solve the systemic issues behind their plight. He thought of the millions, like Lily and Sarah, forgotten by society. The weight of the moment pressed down on him. Ronaldo, used to split-second decisions on the field, now found himself paralyzed by the complexity before him. But as he looked at Lily's hopeful face and Sarah's determined eyes, something clicked. He couldn't solve everything, but he could start here, now, with this family. "Sarah, Lily," Ronaldo said, his voice steady with resolve. "I want to help, not just today, but for the long term. We'll get you the medical care you need, Sarah. And Lily, we'll make sure you can go back to school." Their looks of disbelief and gratitude were overwhelming, but Ronaldo knew this was just the beginning. Lily's story had revealed a larger issue: the invisible struggles of countless families, the gaps in social support, the cycle of poverty trapping generations. As they left, Ronaldo's mind formulated a plan. This wouldn't be a one-time act of charity. It would be the start of something bigger, a movement to shine a light on society's forgotten corners and catalyze lasting change. Ronaldo's act of kindness towards Lily had sparked an unexpected chain of events. As he emerged from her makeshift home, he found himself facing a sea of faces. The quiet slum had transformed into a bustling crowd, word of his presence spreading rapidly through the narrow alleys. Marcus, Ronaldo's head of security, tensed. "Sir, we need to leave now," he urged, his voice low. "This situation is unpredictable." Ronaldo felt the weight of the moment. The desperation in the eyes of the gathered crowd mirrored what he had seen in Lily's. These were people forgotten by society, rarely glimpsing hope in their daily struggles. Could he turn his back on them? An elderly man leaned heavily on a cane, his face etched with years of hardship. A young mother cradled an infant, her eyes silently pleading. Children in tattered clothes pushed to the front, faces alight with excitement. Ronaldo's mind raced. The safe choice would be to retreat to his Cadillac and the familiar world of celebrity. But something inside him rebelled. He had stepped into this world, seen its harsh realities firsthand. Taking a deep breath, Ronaldo stepped forward. The crowd hushed. "My friends," he began, his voice carrying across the makeshift square. "I came here because of one little girl's courage, but now I see that her story is not unique. Each of you has your own struggles, your own dreams." A sense of purpose washed over him. This wasn't about a one-time donation. It was about using his platform to shine a light on the systemic issues trapping these people in poverty. "I can't solve all your problems today," Ronaldo continued, his voice growing stronger. "But I promise you this: I will not forget what I've seen here. I will use my voice to make sure others see it too. Together, we will work to build a better future for this community and others like it." The crowd erupted in cheers. Ronaldo wasn't finished. He announced the establishment of a community center right there in the slum, providing education, healthcare, and job training, a beacon of hope in a place that had known too little of it. As Ronaldo left that day, he knew his life had changed irrevocably. The journey that began with one small act of kindness was poised to challenge how society viewed poverty and social responsibility. The crowd's cheers faded, but their hopes now rested on Ronaldo's shoulders. As he settled into his Cadillac, the reality of the slum clung to him. His mind raced with images of Lily's makeshift home and her mother's frail form. "Sir, what's our next move?" Marcus asked, breaking the silence. Ronaldo turned to his team, eyes blazing with determination. "We're going to change lives, not just Lily's, but her entire communities." His advisors exchanged uneasy glances. "Mr. Ronaldo, addressing systemic poverty is incredibly complex. It's not something solved overnight or with a simple donation." Ronaldo nodded. "I understand, but we have to start somewhere." Over the next few hours, They outlined the framework for the Hope for Heroes initiative. The first steps were clear: secure medical care for Lily's mother, ensure Lily's return to school, and find stable housing for the family. But Ronaldo's vision extended further. He saw potential for a movement addressing the root causes of poverty. The community center he promised would be just the beginning. As night fell, Ronaldo stared out his penthouse window. The task ahead was daunting, but he felt a sense of purpose he'd never experienced before. His phone buzzed with a message from Marcus. "Sir, we've secured a doctor for Lily's mother. She'll be seen tomorrow." A small victory, but significant. Ronaldo smiled, thinking of Lily's relief. Her courage in standing on that street corner had set this in motion. With renewed energy, Ronaldo dove into research on successful poverty alleviation programs. Hope for Heroes was evolving from a spontaneous act into a comprehensive plan for community transformation. As dawn broke, Ronaldo realized he had worked through the night. Exhaustion was far from his mind. He felt truly alive, driven by a purpose greater than scoring goals or winning trophies. The journey ahead would be challenging, but Ronaldo was ready to face it, inspired by the courage of a little girl named Lily. As Ronaldo's vision took flight, a nation held its breath. What began as a chance encounter was about to spark a wave of kindness across America. The Hope for Heroes initiative spread rapidly, igniting passion for change in hearts, young and old. Across the country, teachers donated bonuses, and students organized supply drives for veteran families, showcasing the power of community engagement. The movement faced its share of challenges. Critics questioned its sustainability and ability to create lasting change, arguing that celebrity-driven campaigns often faded once the spotlight dimmed. But Ronaldo and his team were determined to prove them wrong. They expanded their focus beyond veteran families, reaching out to other underserved communities. Thousands received vital support, including housing assistance and healthcare services. The initiative's impact extended beyond material assistance. It sparked a national conversation about social responsibility and compassion, signaling a shift in societal attitudes towards helping those in need. As the first anniversary approached, anticipation built around its future trajectory. The answer came in a surprising form. President Trump hosted a special event at the White House to honor veteran families and recognize the Hope for Heroes campaign. Standing before supporters and beneficiaries, he emphasized the importance of community support, stating, "Each of us can do something to help those in need. Together, let's build an America where no one is forgotten." This presidential endorsement marked a significant milestone for the initiative. It had transformed from one man's spontaneous act into a nationwide movement with the power to influence policy and reshape public discourse. The dedication of a new national memorial at the National Mall, honoring fallen veterans and their families, marked its crowning achievement. As Ronaldo stood before the monument, he reflected on the journey. What began with a chance encounter with a little girl named Lily had blossomed into a beacon of hope for thousands. The Hope for Heroes initiative had changed countless lives and redefined heroism in modern America. As twilight deepened at the newly dedicated National Memorial, Ronaldo stood before the gathered crowd, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of candles. The names etched in stone behind him served as a powerful reminder of the journey that had brought them all to this moment. Lily's wisdom, born from hardship, had become the cornerstone of the Hope for Heroes initiative. Ronaldo's voice carried across the hushed gathering. We all have the power to make a difference. It's in the everyday choices we make, donating to local charities, volunteering at community organizations, or advocating for veteran rights in our local government. Each action, no matter how small, ripples outward, touching lives we may never see. As the crowd dispersed, carrying their candles and newfound purpose into the night, Ronaldo felt the weight of the work that lay ahead. The real challenge would be in sustaining this momentum, inspiring ordinary people to create lasting change through their daily actions. This memorial wasn't just a symbol of past sacrifices, it was a beacon guiding them toward a future where no one would be forgotten.